For today's lesson, we will be discussing about operations on functions. We will focus with addition and subtraction for this one. So how do we add functions? Given two functions f of x and g of x, their sum is denoted by f plus g of x. This is defined by f plus g of x equals f of x plus g of x. This means that we just have to add the two given expressions, f of x and g of x. But take note that whenever we have to add functions, we also have to apply the concept that we use for simplifying expressions. Let's have this example. Let f of x equals 2x squared minus 4x plus 1 and g of x equals negative x squared minus 3x minus 1. Now we have to find f plus g of x. So that means we have to add the two functions f of x and g of x. Now let's write here f plus g of x. Then let's write the two functions. So we have f of x plus g of x. So f of x is given, which is 2x squared minus 4x plus 1. Plus, then we have g of x, negative x squared minus 3x minus 1. Now in adding functions, we have to add terms that are similar. So what are those terms that are similar in the given? So we have 2x and negative x squared, so we can add them. So we will get x squared. We can also add negative 4x and negative 3x. So negative 4x plus negative 3x, that will give us negative 7x. And last is we have positive 1 plus negative 1, which is just equal to 0. So that means f plus g of x is equal to x squared minus 7x. So take note again that when you're adding functions, all you have to do is to add those terms that are similar and then simplify if possible. Another example, given the functions f of x equals 8 plus 6x minus 2x squared and h of x equals 9 plus x minus 3x squared, find f plus h of x. So we will do the same thing. We will write here f plus h of x. Then let's write the two functions given, f of x plus h of x. F of x is 8 plus 6x minus 2x squared. Then we have our h of x, which is 9 plus x minus 3x squared. Again, next thing that we have to do is to add similar terms. So we can see that 8 and 9 are both constant, so we can add them. So 8 plus 9, that will give us 17. Next is we have 6x and x. So positive 6x plus x, that will give us 7x. And lastly, we can add negative 2x squared and negative 3x squared. So negative 2x squared plus negative 3x squared, that will give us negative 5x squared. Now check if you can still simplify this. So it seems that this is already simplified. Therefore, our final answer is 17 plus 7x minus 5x. So that will give us the sum of f of x and h of x. Third example. Let f of x equals 3x squared minus x plus 3 and g of x equals 4x squared minus 2x plus 5. Then we have to find f plus g of negative 3. Now compared with the last two examples, this time we already have a given value for the variable, which is negative 3. This means that after we add the two functions, we still have to evaluate. Now you have a choice whether to add first, then evaluate, or you can do it the other way around. We evaluate first each functions and then we add them. So let me show you the two steps or the two ways on how to do it, and let's see if we will get the same answer. So this time, let's add first and then evaluate. So we have f plus g of x. So if you're adding it first, you have to write x here. Do not write -3 yet. We will do it when we're already evaluating. So let's write 3x squared minus x plus 3 plus 4x squared minus 2x plus 5. Now let's add 3x squared and 4x squared, so that is 7x squared. We can also add -x and -2x. That will give us -3x. Then 3 plus 5, that will give us 8. Now after adding, what we will do next is we will evaluate. So this time, let's write -3. Now, to evaluate, what we will do is to substitute -3 to all the variables. So we have 7 times -3 squared minus 3 times -3 and then plus 8. So we have here 7 times 9 plus 9 plus 8. We have 63 plus 9 plus 8, or this will give us 80. So our final answer is 80. So this is the first step, or the first method. You add first and then evaluate. Now let's try to evaluate first the two functions and then add them later on. So let's evaluate at f of x by -3. So we have 3 times -3 squared minus -3 plus 3. So we have 3 times 9 plus 3 plus 3. So this is 27 plus 6, or this one will be equal to 33. Now let's do the same thing for g of x. So g of -3 equals 4 times -3 squared minus 2 times -3 plus 5. So this is 4 times 9 plus 6 plus 5. So we have 36 plus 11, which is just equal to 47. Now all we have to do is to add f of -3 plus g of -3. So that is 33 plus 47, which is again equal to 80. So we will get the same answer if we will do the same method. So it's either you add first, then evaluate, or evaluate, then add them at the last part. But take note, this one is only applicable if you need to evaluate the functions after adding. But if there's no value of x given, so you don't have any choice but to add them right away. So next is subtraction of functions. So this is defined by f minus g of x, or f of x minus g of x. Or in short, again, we're just subtracting the functions, like how we subtract the expressions. But we have to take note that when we subtract, we copy the minuend. We change the operation from subtraction to addition, and we change the signs of all the terms in the subtrahend. So we will apply the so-called copy plus change. So I know you're familiar with this. We use this when we're subtracting integers. So this one is also applicable for functions. So copy the minuend, change the operation to addition, and then change the signs of all the terms in the subtrahend. So example, what is f minus g of 4 if f of x equals 5x minus 3 and g of x equals 15x plus 6? Okay, now that we have here this number, or there's a value that we need to evaluate to or use to evaluate. So you can also apply here the concept that we did with addition. So you can subtract first, then evaluate, or you can evaluate first, then subtract. Let's try the two methods here for subtraction. Okay, let's subtract first. So we know that f minus g is just equal to f of x minus g of x. So let's write here f of x is 5x minus 3 minus g of x, which is 15x plus 6. Now remember the rules in subtraction. We have to do the copy plus change. Copy the minuend, change the sign or the operation to addition, and then change the sign of the subtrahend. So the minuend here is the f of x, and then the subtrahend is the g of x. So copy 5x minus 3. Now change the operation to addition, and change the sign of all the terms of your subtrahend. So we have negative 15x minus 6. Now after that, all you have to do is to proceed with addition, or we can now simplify. So we can add 5x plus negative 15x. That will give us negative 10x. We can also add negative 3 and plus negative 6. That will give us negative 9. So this is now f minus g of x. But since we have 4 here, that means we have to evaluate the given function to 4. So f minus g of 4, and then substitute negative 10 times 4 minus 9. So this is just negative 40 minus 9, or negative 49. So this is our answer if we will do the first method, which is subtract and evaluate. Now let's evaluate first and then subtract. So evaluate f of x to 4. So we have 5 times 4 minus 3. So we have 20 minus 3, which is equal to 17. So that's our first answer. Do the same thing for g of x. So g of 4 is equal to, then we have 15x plus 6. 15 times 4 plus 6. So we have here 60 plus 6, or 66. So we have f of 4 minus g of 4. So that is 17 minus 66. So that will give us negative 49. So again, we got the same answer. So it's up to you if you want to subtract first then evaluate, or evaluate then subtract. Again, this is only applicable if there is a value given that we have to use to evaluate the function. For our last example, what is f minus g of 3 if f of x equals 5x squared minus 3 and g of x equals x squared minus 15x plus 6? Okay, so let's try to use the first method. So we have f minus g of x, then subtract f of x and g of x. So we have 5x squared minus 3 minus x squared minus 15x plus 6. Now next is we have to apply the copy plus change. So copy the minuend. So that is 5x squared minus 3. Change the operation to addition. And then change the sign of all the terms of the subtrahend. So x squared will become negative x squared. Negative 15x will become positive 15x. Positive 6 will become negative x. Then after that, proceed to addition. So we can add 5x squared and negative x squared. That will give us 4x squared. And as you notice, the minuend here doesn't have a term with x variable only. So since on the subtrahend there is 15x, all you have to do is to just copy it. And last is we have negative 3 and add it to negative 6. That will give us negative 9. Now after that, we will substitute the given value, which is 3, and evaluate now the function. So 4 times 3 squared plus 15 times 3 minus 9. So this is now 4 times 9 plus 45 minus 9. So we have 36 plus 45 minus 9, which is just equal to 72. So f minus g of 3 is equal to 72. Now if you will do the second method, which is to evaluate first the two functions separately and then subtract them, you should get the same answer, which is 72. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something about adding and subtracting of functions, and see you next time.